All right, let's dive in. Today we're going deep into 2 Samuel 13.
Yeah. Talk about family drama. Betrayal. Revenge.
It's all there. This Bible story has it all. Makes Shakespeare look tame.
What gets me is it's King David's family, right? Thousands of years ago. But the emotions, the choices, so relatable.
Totally. Okay, so picture this.
Yeah.
Ancient Israel, King David is ruling,
Yeah, the giant slayer. The hero.
but his family life, yikes. More Game of Thrones than Hallmark.
Totally. So this chapter zeroes in on 3 of his kids, Amnon, Tamar, and Absalom. Amnon and Absalom are half-brothers. Tamar's their sister. And, well, Amnon's got this unhealthy thing for Tamar.
Obsession's more like it, right?
Yeah.
Not just a crush, but a consuming thing. The text says it even makes him sick.
Exactly. And Amnon's got this buddy, Jonadab, who's, well, he's a schemer. He gives Amnon this plan, fake being sick, get David to send Tamar over to take care of it.
Oh, I see where this is going. It's like one of those movies where you just see something awful's about to happen.
Yeah, you got it. Tamar, being the good sister, goes to Amnon's place to help him out. She makes food, but he's like, nope, got to bring it to my room. Alone. And, well, he assaults her. It's a horrible betrayal.
Awful. Just awful. And you know, what gets me is, even as it's happening, she pleads with him, tries to make him see reason. So much strength in that moment.
She does. And then how Amnon reacts after.
Ugh, don't even get me started.
Instant disgust, shame. But he turns it on HR, throws her out as if it's her fault.
Victim blaming, pure and simple, just piles on the pain.
And in that time, in that culture, Tamar's options, basically non-existent.
So she goes to Absalom, her brother, and she's just devastated.
He tells her to keep quiet, but inside, he's furious. Revenge is brewing.
And this is where things get really interesting.
Yeah.
Because King David, the king, he finds out, right? You'd think, okay, justice is coming down.
Right, but that's not what happens. The text says he's angry, furious even, but he does nothing.
Hold on, seriously. He just lets it slide?
Yeah.
I mean, WHY?
Well, that's the million-dollar question. Scholars have been debating it forever. Maybe David was torn between his sons, paralyzed. Maybe it was just the way things were back then. Women had so little recourse.
So no justice for Tamar. Just Absalom stewing in his anger, plotting revenge. 2 years he waits. This can't end well.
Nope, it doesn't. Absalom plans this big sheep-shearing feast, invites all of David's sons, Amnon included. When Amnon's good and drunk, Absalom's servants kill him right there at the party.
Wow. So justice, at least Absalom's version of it, is served. Brutal, but I get the rage when there's no other way.
It really shows you ignoring injustice, letting that anger build, dangerous.
Okay, so we've got this intense family drama, murder in the mix. But what makes this story stick with us, even thousands of years later, is what it says about us, about human nature. What can we learn from all this that still applies today?
That's where things get really interesting. It's ancient, yeah, but man, the lessons. It all starts with Amnon, right? That desire for Tamar. You said obsession, and that's it. Not love, not even close. It's lust, and it drives him to do something horrible.
And that's what gets me. We think it's an old story, but look around. We're bombarded with get what you want now, instant gratification everywhere.
Makes you think, right? Not every impulse is meant to be followed. We need some self-control. Think before we act. What are the consequences?
Like, it's not saying no desires, but knowing which ones are worth chasing, which ones lead to good, not this.
Exactly. You can't always control the feeling, but you can control what you do with it.
All right, so then there's Jonadab, Amnon's pal, giving him advice, but terrible advice. Morals, ethics, out the window. Just pure manipulation.
And that brings up something huge, our inner circle. Who we hang with, who we listen to, it shapes us. The story is like a warning sign.
Yeah, who are you listening to? Are they pushing you to be better, or are you just enabling the bad stuff?
And flip it around. What kind of friend are you? Giving good advice, honest feedback, or just telling people what they want to hear makes you think.
Big time. This story also slams home the damage of injustice. David does nothing. And because of that, look what happens. Absalom's rage, more violence.
It's a lesson, plain and simple. Ignoring injustice, sweeping it under the rug, it doesn't go away, it festers.
Justice delayed is justice denied, right? That hits hard here. No accountability, just powerlessness, anger, resentment, all building up.
Makes us look at ourselves. When we see injustice, what do we do? Do we have the guts to speak up, even when it's hard, when it's uncomfortable?
Are we part of the solution or part of the problem? Big questions. And then there's Tamar. Violated, silenced. People who should have protected her, they just turn away.
Her story, it's so sad because it still happens. People pushed aside, ignored, hurt, no justice.
It's a call to action. We got to be there for the vulnerable, listen to them, believe them.
It's on all of us to make a world where people feel safe, supported, where they're heard, their rights respected. No one should go through that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Then there's Absalom. He chooses revenge. 2 years, plotting, consumed by that anger, wanting Amnon to pay.
And does it bring him peace? Healing, closure? Rarely. Revenge almost never does that.
Usually just keeps the cycle going. More hurt, more pain, but the root cause is still there, unresolved.
So what's the alternative? That's the challenge this story throws at us.
If not revenge, then what? How do we break free from that? It's not easy.
Nope, not at all. But this story hints at it. Reconciliation, forgiveness, really dealing with the core issues, that's where the healing starts.
Talk about a tall order, listening, understanding, empathizing, even when it hurts.
Yeah.
So much packed into this story. Unchecked desire, bad advice, the lack of justice, the pull of revenge. And it's all ill deed, but man, it's about U.S.
Human nature. It hasn't changed that much, you know? Same struggles, love, anger, grief, wanting fairness. It's all still there.
And even though it's a bleak story, there are these glimmers of hope. Like maybe David and Absalom could reconcile.
Yeah, even after all that went down, even after the worst happens, there's still a chance for healing, for forgiveness. Might be a long road, but it's worth it.
It's a good reminder. Even in the darkest times, there's always that possibility. Redemption. Restoration.
Yeah.
That's powerful. Wow, what a story, huh? Amnon, Tamar, Absalom. It's heavy stuff, but it makes you think, even thousands of years later.
It's like human nature 101. Doesn't matter the time period, we're still dealing with the same things. Desire, family, that need for justice.
Yeah, and thinking about Jonadab whispering in Amnon's ear, it's like we all need that inner compass and good people around us to keep us on track, even when we don't want to hear it.
Oh, for sure. It's easy to slip up, justify stuff, especially if someone's telling you it's okay. But this story, it's like a reminder. Check yourself. Are you living by your values? Are you helping or hurting?
And then there's David, doing nothing. Man, that just brings home how important justice is. It makes you think about your own WN role, right? When you see something wrong, do you stay silent or speak up?
It's a challenge to us all. We can't just sit back. We've got to be the change. Speak up for those who can't.
Right.
Work for a better world. It's on US.
Couldn't agree more. And Tamar. Her strength, it's inspiring. Even after what she went through, that resilience.
Makes you want to be better, do better. Nobody deserves that.
No, they don't. So, as we wrap up this deep dive, it's not just about knowing this old story. It's about what we do with it, how we live it.
Exactly. Be mindful of your desires. Choose good people to be around. Fight for what's right. And revenge. It's a dead end. There's a better way.
Amen to that. Thanks for joining us today, everyone. We hope this got you thinking, maybe even inspired you a bit.
Always a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Until next time, keep digging, keep asking questions. There's wisdom everywhere. You just got to look for it.